What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? This is Super Mike 2164. We just wanted to come through, do a quick uh, live event. We wanted to touch on a couple of videos and do some reactions to it. Make sure you share this message, share the story. Make sure you put your comments in the comment section. This one's going to be on religion. It's going to be on capitalisms, nationalisms. It's going to be on a variety of issues and subjects. So make sure you go ahead and share it out. Leave your comments. Leave your comments. What's up, everybody? There's a lot going on in the United States. There's a lot going on the planet. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to try to show. If you want to come up, just come on up. If Leroy's there, I sent you a link in your messenger. So just click the link inside your messenger. Come on up. We're about to do this. What's up, everybody? So I wanted to go over some of the issues. Everybody knows that there's a oh, here we go. What it is? What's up?
There it is. Let's do it. Did I miss the intro music?
No, I didn't intro. I just came on. I
Live and direct. Live and direct.
no, just straight up got to business because I was doing some other stuff. And like I said, everybody, let's if you in, just press the little thumbs up or do the what is it? Share it. Just click little
Like,
share, enter, what have you. Blah blah. Lots of
like,
tweets.
share, subscribe,
Like, share, and subscribe. Yeah.
and
So
all that good YouTube stuff.
right, YouTube, Facebook, what have you. So we do want to go over a couple of topics. We are on the Math Science and History channel as well. Yeah, so I'll put those on there. But I did want to go over a couple of. We were talking about some hot button subjects earlier, like with we had the Billy Carson debate, the fallout of that. But there's some other topics on there that I wanted to touch on. I think you sent me a couple of links. We wanted to do with usury. So the title I put is Race, Religion, Nationalism, Classism. Is there any hope?
Wow.
Because
Yes,
everybody's always like,
there is.
well, I mean, this is what we're dealing with. So, we're thinking, in our own mind, but we're dealing with billions and millions of people. And you're dealing with people at the top who who subscribe under a system. They tell us one set of rules, but they play by a different set of rules. Excuse me. They try to play by a different set of rules, which they do under their system. But that's kind of what we're dealing with. So let me see something. Let me make sure that I'm okay. I think it's here. Okay. So they changed
Yeah.
this up on
Rules for thee, but not for me. Yeah, that's how it goes. Rules for thee, but not for me.
right. And so, so there's a lot of top subjects. Let me see. This is what we was talking about last time. We're dealing with that. Hold on a second here. I'm trying to get some of this out of here so that we can actually go into it. So what you been up to? How was your day, bro?
Oh man, hard work getting leaves out the yard.
Oh, really? Yeah, down there.
You know what I'm saying? Had to transport them because the transfer station that's 5 minutes away closes at 3. I had to drive to Douglasville to get rid of them, and I
Man.
still got about
For
20
leaves?
more bags.
What?
Yeah,
Wait,
man.
you know, dang, you got a lot, and you didn't try to you know put them in a pile and put a little lye in there and let them compost.
I mean, I
Compost.
could, but yeah, I mean, we're not growing anything right now. I think we ought to do summer though.
People pick that stuff up, though. You know that, right? There's so many gardens.
Oh,
Every churches have gardens, all kind of gardens. There's community gardens and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you
it
got some,
is.
yeah, you put some compost in that thing, bro. Shoot, man, please. They love that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, if we go far with it this summer, we may look at it next fall and set up a
How many
compost.
trees? You got a bunch of trees in your backyard. In your,
Nah, I actually got not man. I mean, it's not as many as there used to be. We got
uh,
one, two, three, four, five, six, seven.
mm,
But yeah. I mean, we did a compost before though, and it does work. I mean, what my wife was able to get out of that when we did have a garden, it definitely you can tell the difference
in your
between
garden.
that and what you would buy.
Mm. So you
Like
see
the
that?
what is
Go ahead.
like the super what is it? Super I think it's called super grow. That stuff
Okay.
works, but nothing works like the real. For real, for real.
Right. Let me see. I'm trying to find. Oh, look at this here. This Joe Biden pardon. So Joe Biden pardoned. So what do you think he pardoned this Chinese guy for, who had 47,000 pictures of just horrible
Corn.
child videos, brutal abuse, infants, crap. Like, why would you let that go and give it a pardon? And then I've seen people on Rashard Ritchie's page uh, talking about, oh, well, it was a trade with the Chinese government.
Okay, what we get?
It don't, to me, wait a minute. If the Chinese government, so if the Chinese government wants, uh, this guy back, I don't care what they do with him. But what I'm saying is, why does it require a presidential pardon? Because is he coming
was
back here?
I mean, if he was locked up in order for him to get out to get to China,
No.
he was locked up, right?
Pardon?
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
You don't gotta pardon him to give him to China. Did Russia
No, you
pardon?
don't. I thought. I mean, I was under the impression he was locked up.
He was locked up.
He wasn't locked up.
He was
He was.
locked. Yes. But if China wants
Oh,
him,
so he start.
do you understand what I'm saying?
Did he his time?
Say it one more
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. I fully get it. I'm just trying to nail down whether or not he was actually incarcerated, and did he serve out his time, and maybe he had become a citizen, and maybe you can't leave. I don't know.
Oh well,
And I'm not.
to
I'm
me,
not. I'm not saying any of this as in I'm agreeing that he should be pardoned, even if he's released, and it's just a matter of you exonerating him of his charges so he can travel. Just like you said, just give him back to China.
right?
Don't give him a pardon. Just get out.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. But we are talking about Biden, and it could be a favor to his Asian friends, because I mean he has quote connections there too, just like in Ukraine. So
Well, everybody has connections, so
you
I
know,
understand that. But no one is above the law.
yeah, yeah, that's what they keep telling us as they break the law.
So what law?
Wow.
But what law is he talking about? So,
Uh,
it, so he said no
the
one is.
laws that don't pertain to them.
So he says no one is above the law. So is there a group be up above the law? Is there 10 above the law? Yeah. You got to be careful with words. These people,
Yeah,
please. Hey, this is
yeah,
this
you
is
do.
what And see, this is the reason why I say what I say, because it's like this is an English language we speak it, man. I seen let's look this way. I think this is one. Let me see. This is one that you. Oh, also, so this is I don't know. I have you if you Google Crete in Greece, you ever seen that? Like this place right here. I did this
You
on
talking
my
about
own.
the island?
Yeah, I did this on my own
Okay.
phone. Okay, so I did this on my own phone. I took this picture. I took this picture. This is a screenshot.
Okay.
This is Google. Oh, your maps, your regular maps. So we see the island. This is the island. It's above water. But if you look right at Google, under the water, it's like you see like really defined like dots. See, this is what people do when they do Google exploring.
Uh,
They just
Okay.
they Google Earth places, and when they see something interesting or weird, they go look. They go because they rich, and they can just go there. But I just do some of this stuff because I'm like, if we were to realize how long, like I might do it right here, right now, like how long different civilizations that have been long flooded out, washed away. At some point in time, some of this stuff was above ground where people was walking around. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of stuff. So let me go into some of this stuff that we were getting into. Let's look at this here. I think we was dealing with the main thing. Let's do with the usury thing. This one here is.
Yeah.
I was listening to it. But see, I was listening to it now. I actually, it's interesting because I'm working with several. This is actually the most Asian people that I worked with that I'm working with now. It's like three young
Okay.
guys. Yeah, it's like three young guys in Nevada here, and they're well, I'm in California now, but they're like it's just young. So, but they set their kids up to make sure they make some money, some decent money. Like this, like one guy, he's right out of high school. I mean, this boy is 19 years old. I'm like,
Going for it.
well, I mean, he's just doing what his dad tells him. He don't work, but he's working. He's starting. He's working. Sure. You don't have to
Yeah.
work. You don't have to work all like he got a family and stuff like that. He's still staying at
No,
home.
that's when you can save and come up.
Yeah, he's still at home with his family. He playing a little bit, but he's working. So this is why, it's like we got to get it in our children's head too, because we got to set them up. Because in this society, all that old kicking people out at 18 and all that stuff,
Oh, it don't work.
no, it's a family
Especially
affair.
especially with the prices the where they're going. Those 2 $1 million homes up the street, they still on the market.
Right.
They waiting on you to come pick one of them up, Mike.
Hey, maybe I will, because we might end up selling this in a minute after a couple of years. Yeah.
Cause yeah, you out there where you gonna be able to sell high and come back here and buy cheap. Well, it'll be cheap to you. It won't be cheap to us here.
I don't know.
Cause
Well, I ain't gonna lie, because it is interesting. Because so I live, living in California, and then just going over here working at Nevada. It's like, wow, I haven't seen $3 gas in like so long. I'm just like, wow, hurry up and get
oh,
me
it's
right.
dropped.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's right. Cause you're in Nevada.
in Nevada, yeah. Because when I go over there to Reno, actually it's dropped. Like as soon as I get over to Reno, let's see here. Actually, let me do it this way. Let me see something. I'm gonna give you a couple of freebies and good ones so you can do some laughing. All right, but we'll do your usury first, but then we'll do some Billy Carson stuff.
Oh, Billy. I think my tablet heard you talking because I sent you a video
Uh-huh.
to counter kind of what we were talking about because it just popped up.
Yeah, yeah, those tablets don't be playing. They be listening. They listening to
Yes,
everything. So it's all good. All right, so I want to put this one on here.
it's not, but it is, and it's not.
Just listening. They'll tell you straight up. They don't play. They're not. They're
No.
not playing anymore. Like I even put them thing. If do you know when you look at Google, I looked at it said results for, and it determines the area where you were looking at. So basically, if I'm looking, if I just say, FBA, you know what that stands
Okay.
for, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Well, but in
Foundational Black Americans.
right, but in let's see what it stands for right here. Hold on, because I looked it up in Carson City, Nevada. Let's see what it says here. FBA. All right, so it still says the same. Fulfillment by Amazon. Okay, so that's what they want to say it is. I want you not going to understand that. This is their thing. That's why I say this because, words, the same one thing that means something to us, they won't even. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see if they got it in any of it. Okay, Wikipedia got it. Fulfillment by Amazon's number one for them. What does FBA mean? I'm trying to. Amazon, okay. Amazon. So Wikipedia got it. May refer to Foundational Black Americans, Federation of British Artists. Okay, so but the Foundational Black Americans were first. All right. No, so that was it. Okay, so yeah, so there it is. Let's see what this says. Let me go through here. So this is what I seen, and you looked up the other video of somebody reacting to this
I
video.
mean, not really. Yeah, I mean, not really looked up. That's why I told you about is listening because I
Right,
just scrolled and it was like 3 videos down. Like, hold on, now. Here we go.
right. So I picked that up too. So I want to, since he's reacting to this video, I don't want to look at him first. The reason why is because I want
Yeah,
to see
that's
what.
fine. That's fine.
But I
Yeah,
also
yeah,
want to
yeah.
look.
Let's go with the source.
Let's go with this one first. So I was listening to this here. Now it's just interesting. You know, Asian folks now, American Asians, they have a different thing that if they were born here or versus, it depends on how many generations they've been here. So there's little differences there in their communities as well. But I think the ones that I'm working with right now, they definitely was born here because they're kids. Uh, but yeah, so I know they
Okay.
went everything here. One of them is he's a proud Asian. He's like, I eat rice and everything. That's it. That's what I love rice. I'm an Asian. I'm straight up Asian. He's like, yeah, yeah. He like, I'd be like, oh yeah, give me some watermelon. Watermelon.
Funny.
But these guys, and
Oh no, ain't nothing, just rice.
right. That's how he's like everything. He's like he puts rice and spaghetti. He puts like what the rice and spaghetti. Okay, that's how you work it. Okay.
Oh man.
Serious.
Come at me, bro. I put rice in my cereal.
Right. Yeah, breakfast rice cereal. Then he makes the rice and puts it in there and mixes it in. It is it is damn,
Hey, not to sidetrack too far, but have you seen these videos of people eating soul food for the first time?
uh-uh. I haven't seen
Oh,
that.
bro.
That's not,
Oh man, it is hilarious. Huh?
What we call soul food is that should be like, oh, we need to throw that away. Because that stuff right there was
Eh,
slave food. Yeah. The thing the
what,
stuff
hold
that
on now. I mean, yeah,
yeah,
but what we call soul food now is not slave food.
I'm
The
saying
soul food then was what was left. Now we
so
getting the actual.
still if you dealing with anything, and I know y'all, to me, even the old Bible, people don't like it, but the Bible tells you don't eat it. That pork and all that kind of stuff, the king's meat and the king's drink. You know what I'm saying? What was the king's drink? Liquor, fire water. That was the king's
Yeah,
meat.
yeah.
Eating.
Everything in my the word also says everything in moderation, and the diet is not restricted at this point. It was
Yeah.
before, and it made sense. Think about it. There
No,
wasn't real
now.
refrigeration
So let me
thousands of years ago.
let's deal with that. So this is a good spot for us to deal with. This is a good one right here. So now I can look up in any Bible, any translation of the Bible. This is the Bible. This came from God. Most people who believes in scriptures and stuff, they'll say it. So I'd be like, okay, so let's just say Deuteronomy, something. What? Deuteronomy. Let's try Deuteronomy. Book of Deuteronomy, dietary laws. I'll just say that. Let's try that. So this is just so now we look this up. This is what I got. Okay, this is here. So now we got this here. It's telling you some laws, some rules. Now, what now? So there is an interpretation now that tells you this part of this Bible is a waste of time for you. To
A
me,
waste of
that's basically,
time. Why you say
yeah,
that?
it's a waste of time for you to read it if you don't have to do it. This is a law.
It's not that you don't have to do it. It's just not it doesn't hold the same weight as it did in the Old Testament, meaning it was tied to your salvation.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I'll,
in the
so
New Testament, he said, "Don't call anything unclean that I have cleansed." And in the vision, laid out everything that there is to eat in a vision to Peter, and told him that. So there's nothing that you can't eat. I mean, it may not be as healthy, but I
let me
would
ask you
venture
this.
to say that the issue now is more of what happens in mass producing food. Like if you have your own farm and you're eating your own animals and it's no outside interference with how you cultivate whatever you consume, then like I met this gentleman. He told me he grew up on a farm in Alabama, and because we was talking about food, and he said that when his grandfather was going to kill a pig, 30 days before they were going to eat it, he would prepare it by instead of just feeding it, whatever they fed it all the time, he would feed it good food, and that made a difference in how it tasted. And
Uh,
that's in a controlled environment. And I've heard like Hispanic people say who, had access to farms that the chicken that they grow themselves tastes way better than what we get in the store.
that's probably true, and I'm sure it is true because of the way you cultivate, animals and stuff like that. Especially if you're going to be eating them, definitely
Yeah.
make. So this makes a difference. So let me ask you this. So we know this for a fact, and like you said, even physically, facts. What you put inside the body that God gave you it actually has an effect. It makes a difference. So now, when God has put down some laws, we see that these things actually still work. They're still healthier. Okay, now we're dealing with
Mm-hmm.
health crisis. We're dealing with health crisis. You know, what makes like what? See, when my thing is this: when you start going into the real details of how we reading what we're reading, this is in English. Okay, we know English didn't even exist. Nowhere near the time when these things were revealed, or they were the original languages were different. Also, even though it is in English and it could be translated very, very pretty good and correct, we be interpreting stuff different. We can look at the same words in English, and two different people who went to school or whatever they're gonna say, well, no, actually it means, well, no, because of this, it means like what? So what I'm saying is when if I tell you the truth, now first of all, this is how I don't see what the problem is with this. Now it says lean not to your own understanding. Okay. Well, we're looking at the creation of God. We know he made this creation. This is nature,
And it was
everything.
good.
Right. So my point is if God tells you to do something, let's say he tells you, don't eat of this tree, right? Otherwise you're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you did what God said don't do. And nothing happens to you? No, something happens to you. You experience a problem. You get put out. Damn. You gonna start having enmity between you. You start having
Yes.
dysfunctional families and kids. You start having problems, and you die, get old. You get all kind of stuff start happening to you. So what I'm saying
Oh
is,
yeah.
so he's telling you these are the things don't eat. These are the things to eat. Now, somebody has interpreted it and said we can disregard that now. So now the people who are starting to disregard that, they're eating pig. What else they eating? Scales, blood. What else they eating? All the stuff they eating.
The creeping things in the ocean, lobster, crab.
Okay, now we know that those crabs, those things, they actually are the insects of the sea. So the worst bottom feeders. Every boo boo, every chemical, everything that drops in the ocean, that thing is wanting to find that and eat it. It don't want nothing good. It want to eat the nasty stuff, dead stuff that's already dead, putrid, just rotten. All kinds of poison in it. And then here we go. We popping up with cancers, and we popping up with dementias. We popping up with shakes and different little stuff. I mean, we still alive, but we taking medicines, high blood pressure. And then when you get high blood pressure, somebody say, "Hey, lay off the pork." Or if they don't cook the pork too good, you getting trichina worms and stuff like that in your joints or whatever. So it's like, when is it dawn on you? Say, God said don't eat this. And damn, I'm getting a problem here. But somebody said, don't worry about that because this here tells us we can eat that. But it didn't actually say disregard what I told Moses. It didn't say that like that. They interpreted it
Yep.
to mean that. That's what they did. They interpreted it
You
to
think
mean
so? I mean, it's in
that.
Peter.
Let's look at it.
Yeah.
Because I know one part I know there's another part, and see, because that's when people start throwing scriptures at each other for battling, but they're not actually trying to get the truth. They care more about their point. And what I'm saying is, so let's look at it. Was it Peter? It says, what does it say? Call nothing unclean.
Don't call anything unclean that I have cleansed.
Let's see.
Hold on a second.
Uh, all right, let's say I think somebody found. I think people have been looking this up. Is it Acts or is it Peter? But Peter said, okay, Acts 15, Acts 10:14. But Peter said, no, okay, let's look at the whole thing. Let's look at the context of it. Okay, let's look at more context. Hold on a second here. Okay, so this is 10 through 14 through 15. I'll go, let me try to go. See, I hate reading just that, you know. I like reading like before it too. Let's just do this. Damn. All right, this is what I'll do. Because I know that the other, this one does better, I think. All right, so see, I like the way they do it because they give you a little more. So this is Acts 10. Let's do it. Yeah, let's try this one. So we'll go 9 through 15. So it says basically the next day, as three travelers were approaching the town, Peter went out on the balcony to pray. It was about noon. Peter got hungry and started thinking about lunch. And you can tell this is translated in the U version. I don't like it. You
What
know,
what
yeah.
what what are you looking at? The NIV?
No, hold on a second. Let me get a different one. I don't like that one.
Yeah, go with the KJV
I want to read the
because the
old.
NIV, the nickname or another acronym is the Never Inspired version. Because I
Yeah.
mean, it's just weird how it reads. I mean, it
No,
doesn't.
the thing is, I don't really mind it, but the only reason why I'm gonna tell you straight up, the only reason why I use the King James version is not because I think it's more better translated than others, because I don't read the original language anyway. So the reason why I use the King James version is because that's what we've been on. That's it. It's no other reason. And we need to understand that. That's just because this is what they gave us. That's what they call the Protestant Bible. That's the one that when they protested against the Catholics. So that was Martin Luther. That's why we got this, or not why we got this, but I think it was the Protestant Bible they called it, but that's King James version. 1 second here. So this is 15. Let's see if I can just get. Let me start. I'm just going to do this. All right, so that's Acts 10. So it says here. So, all right, let's start right. Basically, there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius. Tarver. Oh, Cornelius. A centurion of the band called the Italian Band. It's interesting. A devout man and one that feared God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always. They didn't put it.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely not Cornelius Tarver.
Okay. So he saw in a vision, evidently about the ninth hour of the day, an angel of God coming in to him and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked at him, he was afraid and said, "What is it, Lord?" He said unto him, "Thy prayer and thine alms are come up for a memorial before God. And now send me to Joppa and call for one Simon, whose surname is Peter."
Mm-hmm.
All right, so he lodgeth with Simon, a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest do. Now, this is a vision, right? He saw in a vision.
And
This is a vision still. He saw in a vision.
what what verse are you on?
Well, he said number 6, basically. Well,
Okay.
yeah. So he lodges with one Simon, a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. And when the angel which spoke unto Cornelius was departed, he called 2 of his household servants and a devout soldier of them that waited on him continuously. And when he had declared all these things unto them, he sent them to Joppa. On the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. All right. He became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance. So he's in a trance now, and saw
Mm-hmm.
open and a certain vessel descending upon him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the 4 corners and let down to the earth. So he saw heaven opened up. It was
Oh.
this heaven opened up, and a picnic pallet.
A checkerboard picnic sheet.
That's what it say.
Aunt Jemima sheet. You tripping.
I'm just saying. This is what I didn't never read this. This
Okay.
is interesting because I didn't know that this said heaven opened up in a sheet with the 4
Yes.
corners, came down
A
from
great
heaven.
sheet.
But this is in
That's
his
right.
trance. This is in his
Yes.
trance, and he hungry. Okay. All right. So it says, wherein all matter. Okay, hold on. So it said, and let down to earth, wherein were all manner of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, "Rise, Peter, kill and eat." But Peter said, "No, not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean."
So that's very important.
Okay.
You see what he
So,
said? Not so, Lord. He in the trance, but he correcting God. But nevertheless, he says, "I
you
have
just
I."
hold hold on. This is okay.
I
This is
mean,
important. He
I
said,
mean, look, not so, Lord.
"See,
I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. He said never. So
wait. But
he's
see,
never had to creep it.
hold on though. Now I'm just looking here. It says, and the voice spake unto him again. Wait a minute. It says, okay, hold on. It says, wherein were all manner, okay. And there came a voice. That at this point
to
it didn't
him.
say it was God. It just said a voice. You know, it didn't say it at that point.
Yeah.
So just, you know, and it says, "Rise,
Rise.
Peter,
You got
kill
you
and
you're going too fast, Mike. We got commas. We gotta honor the punctuation. It's
huh?
a I said we gotta honor the punctuation. You know, when there's a comma, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be a pause before you say the next word.
Rise, Peter, kill and eat."
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
But
That's
Peter
it.
said, "Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean." So I don't know what common really means to them, but okay.
He said,
So
but he sure said never though. It's nothing.
mhm,
There's no discussion about what never.
right. Yeah, that's what he said. He said never. I have never eaten anything. Okay, that's what he said. All right. So
Yes.
all right, so here it says, and the voice spake unto him again the second time, "What God hath cleansed, that call thou that
Nope.
call not thou common." See, what God hath cleansed, that call not thou common. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven. Now, while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house and stood before the gate and called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, were lodged there. So while Peter thought on the vision, the Spirit said unto him, "Behold, 3 men seek thee. Arise,
Hold on.
therefore." Yeah,
Behold,
right.
3 men seek thee.
Okay. "Behold, 3 men seek thee." 3 men seek thee. Okay. "Arise, therefore, and get thee down and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them." So then Peter went down. Okay, so I think that is the context of that part. Just trying to see if there's any more part to that. That this goes into the journey and those men. So it's interesting that
Hmm.
this story actually connects to something that was actually going on that is actually being set up really. But this voice did not say that it was God.
No,
It
the voice didn't say it was God, but the voice did say, "What God hath cleansed, that call not thou coming."
right, but it didn't say God cleansed those things.
Yes, it
He
did.
okay, look, let's read it again. It says,
What God hath cleansed, that call not thou coming.
right.
It's saying God hath cleansed what you have seen
No, that's
in
what we're
on.
coming up with. It didn't say God cleansed those things. It just said don't call something that God cleansed. I'm just saying now I can understand. I literally do understand
I mean,
why. why we would think that. Now I know
We'll
to
go
us
back.
that's
Go,
so I'm gonna read it again, but it
go
does not.
back 13,
Huh? Okay.
verse 13. And there came a voice to him, rise, Peter,
Kill,
kill and
kill.
eat. Yeah, so he told them, hey, have
Well,
at it, bro. Go for it.
a voice is telling him. So guess what? So we know one thing that's true as well, right? A voice can talk. It
What's
doesn't
that?
need to be God's voice, because somebody talked to Eve, didn't they? This how many?
Yeah, yes, but we do see, hold on, but we do see in verse 14 that Peter recognizes this voice and says, not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean.
So Peter said that.
He
Peter said
he addressed the voice as Lord.
right, but the Bible says it says a voice. That's interesting to me. It didn't because it could have just said the voice of the Lord. It was just interesting to me.
Yeah,
Now,
it says, and the voice spake unto him again.
now I'm gonna be first to admit this. I'm gonna be first to admit it could just literally be lost in translation. I'm just noticing that. So that's all I'm saying. So I haven't really researched enough to really say that it was not the Lord. I'm just saying that it's just like just from this, that is not. It didn't. It literally does not say "and the voice of the Lord." Now they could just rewrite it and translate and say "the voice of the Lord." But Peter
Yeah,
said,
and they might do that in the never inspired version. They might actually do that in other
"Well, the
versions.
thing is, though, you
But
see, the thing is though, King James. This is a version of we. If you don't, we know that this is just in English. So
hmm
yeah, so it's not. It's just like you calling that other version never inspired. It's just because you seen it different. This is the first one you seen. So it's like the real
yeah,
language.
I mean, no,
The real
but no,
language we don't.
I say that based on how it reads when you compare it to the KJV.
Right, you're
It's
comparing it. That's what I mean. You're comparing it to the one you seen first, which is normal. But I'm saying that
yeah.
we know that this is not the actual original, because people had a problem with this one too, because they seen the one before it. It was a big fight over this one. So yeah, and then of course the behavior of and a lot of people know him personally, had some issues, but so I'm
Who
just
that?
saying
Who
that.
that?
But the main point is that most of what most people say, that most of the words is translated correctly and everything. Uh, you know,
From the Greek
even
for the New
yeah,
Testament.
but even this version for us nowadays, I can understand why people trying to um, translate, because even the old English words, sometimes we don't talk like this, so we don't know kind of how they were setting things up.
But
So
just but no hold on, but notice in verse 15 it says, and the voice spake unto him
right, and
again
that's
the
and
second time.
so look, and that's what I'm saying too. The voice. It didn't say "and the voice of God" or "God spake unto him." It says the voice spake unto him a second time, and it didn't say "what I have cleansed." It says "what God hath cleansed." Like this is
Yes.
not God, right? It's saying basically like this voice is not God, but I'm speaking. I'm telling you something, like in a voice way. But it didn't say "what I have cleansed, thou that thou not call common." It says like when God was speaking to Moses, he says, "Who made your mouth?" Or it's like
Who
God
told you
talked,
you were naked?
right? Yeah, God, he's when he's talking, and he's talking in the first, he's talking to you or whatever. But this voice, I'm just saying, because I'm a critical, I'm a fair, but I'm just like, this is what it says, and it's reasonable. Now I understand why people can see like, oh, that's God, and of course I can understand that. It clearly says it in a way, and you can take it as that this must be God, but it really does. It says a voice.
Mm-hmm.
It don't say the voice of God. It just says a voice. And now we know in other parts of the Bible, and even in here, it says a angel. It says God said or God sent. It says, it'll tell you, but this one doesn't say it was an angel. It don't say it was the devil. It don't say it just say a voice.
Well,
And that's
yeah.
so I'm just saying, okay. And so people have stopped. So people took this. It just, and it didn't even say eat. It says it told him to rise, kill, and
Rise, kill, and eat.
Okay. But here it says and saw heaven open and a certain vessel descending upon him as it had been a great sheet. Okay. Where all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth and wild beasts and creeping things and fowls of the air. So they wasn't dead already?
No. I mean, look, he was in the trance. So in the trance, that's like a mirage. It can be anything.
You gotta rise, kill, and eat. Man, okay. I don't know about that one, but because when the people start rising and killing, they eating pig. Oh, shoot, we can eat pigs now. So they go down and eat all this nasty stuff, clams and roaches and all these weird birds. One of the like I was a garbage man before. So
Okay.
once I was a garbage man at a garbage dump, then that's when I first realized this is why they call birds foul. the word foul and bird, a good reason. A bird is nasty. Any bird, like every bird, a pigeon, seagulls, they live in garbage. Like they will eat this nasty stuff. A bird will eat, just gobble it up and run. They fighting each other. So the word foul it literally means nasty, and then they also foul literally means a bird, and it's a good reason for that. So to really eat birds, you must have them. You should have them. You got to control them so that chickens and things like that. Because you eating birds, that's almost like eating a rat, which they nasty too.
I mean, look, some people do eat. I've had rabbit, and that's a rodent.
But
And I
rabbits,
mean, it was actually good.
well, look at the nature of a rabbit. Okay, look what a rabbit eats. Okay, a rabbit is not going to be found in the garbage dump. So so you're not going. So the stuff that a rabbit will eat versus what a rat, a pig, a centipede, a lobster, a crab, certain stuff like that.
Centipede.
Yeah, roaches and stuff. Yeah, boiling roaches and all that crap. Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. Look, I have no doubt that in China, everything is on the menu.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying, like, I know people saying this, but it's like you saying throw this whole thing away. When nobody's getting no kind of clarity, they just say throw it away. They be like, all this goes away because of that.
Well,
good.
Okay, well, I didn't say that. I just said that it doesn't apply to salvation like it did in the Old Testament. That doesn't mean that people can't go by the what is it, the Levitical diet, but
Right.
it doesn't
Levi.
pertain to your salvation anymore. It did
Now,
then.
now, the way that you explained it the first time when you said it that way, the way you just said it there, see, I could that to me was a very good way to say it because I was like, okay, because you notice I was like, okay, because the way you said that, that was the way. Because I'm looking at it from health and scientific. Because this here, right here, this is way
Hmm.
better for your body. Here, doing this, okay, than listening to this interpretation of this, which is kind of, I mean, even if you disagree, it's still not really straightforward. I'll say, at least you could say that it's not really straightforward saying, this way. It doesn't really say ignore Deuteronomy. It doesn't say
Oh
that.
yeah, no, it doesn't say that, but it
Yeah,
does say don't call anything unclean or coming that God has cleansed. I mean, if He didn't clean it, don't be out here saying it's dirty.
okay, but he said he didn't it it didn't say God cleansed these things here.
It said what God cleansed.
Wait a minute. Where does it
Okay, we
say?
get what.
Hold on a second. This is what I want to ask you. So let's read this part. So it says, okay, it's telling you, your children of the Lord, don't cut yourselves or shave your heads. Okay, these are laws. Just
Hmm.
because somebody died. All right, for you, you are the people holy to the Lord your God. Out of all the peoples on the face of the earth, the Lord has chosen you, treasured possession. Do not eat any detestable thing. Okay.
Hmm.
So now, do not eat any detestable thing. So now, you go here. So it says, okay, one second. Oh, wait a second. What God has cleansed, that call not thou common. Okay. So we should know what common means anyway. But how does that conflict? So are you saying that the Bible has a conflict there? Because
Absolutely not.
it says, so you're saying that God has cleansed whether detestable things? Because I don't see a conflict there. If God cleansed it, yeah, you can't call it common. But where
Or
here does
unclean.
where here does it say? Well, it didn't say unclean. It said what God cleansed. Yeah, well, I guess if He cleansed it,
That
if
means it
He
was unclean.
well, listen, if God cleansed it, don't He? It is not unclean now. But what I'm saying is, where does it say that He cleansed these things here? And if you're saying that it says it here, because in this little spot it says rise, kill, and eat, because Peter told
Yeah,
it. That doesn't mean those
that's it
things were.
right there.
That don't mean that it didn't say that he cleansed them things though.
And
He
he
just
said,
told.
"Rise, kill, and eat." He told them what to do. He said, "Rise, kill, and eat." Yeah, he didn't say it was clean at that point, but I mean, it's understood that if he's telling you to eat, you can eat these things. That they must be good now. I mean, they have to be good now, or he wouldn't have told you that, or told Peter that.
Okay, and I can understand people jumping to that conclusion, but we gotta, I'm just saying that we're coming up with that, and it could be true, but there's room here that maybe there's something else going on. That's all I'm saying, and because we one of the things a lot of us people don't want to believe is God does make uh statements that you have to think about. Just like when he told Adam and Eve, you're going to die. They did die, but not, like when he said it, a lot of people could easily jump to the conclusion that you're going to immediately drop dead. See what I'm saying? But it wasn't like that. It was something else, but it happened. But it,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead. You saying something? Okay, I can't hear you now if you're talking. Oh, you're on mute. Oh, okay, you back on mute.
How about now?
Yeah, there you go.
That's weird. Okay, so I mean, I just want, how is that jumping to a conclusion?
Well, you just said it. So we're jumping. So okay, let's get this example. God said, if you eat of this tree, you're gonna die. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now they did die, but Satan told them, "You're not gonna die, right? You won't die, right?"
Oh yeah, he told them that you'll be his gods and all kind of bogus junk.
Let's go straight with the die part. Now, if somebody says as soon as you eat this tree, you're gonna surely die, you can assume that as soon as we eat this, we're gonna drop dead right quick. Even though that's not what actually did happen. It took them a while to die. So what I'm saying is that assumption that the way you're gonna die, that is the assumption part. So if we're looking at this portion and we're saying that just because this voice said a statement of truth, if God cleans something, you can't call it, unclean or common. Now you're just you're assuming that God cleaned that just because this voice made this statement.
Okay. Let me pose a question to you.
It's just like usury. It's just like usury. This is what they do in law all the time. If you this is what what they call these people, these Sanhedrins and stuff. That's what they do. They'll tell you, just like what you said. Okay, you had a permission slip to tell your child that they cannot attend a thing. Okay.
Yeah, and I had to sign it and fill it out and send it back.
But most people would assume, oh no, I'm not signing no permission slip. So you would assume a permission slip allows them to participate. That's all I'm saying. They didn't actually say. You see what I'm saying? This is these are words, man.
Yeah, I mean, I see where he said. Let me pose this question to you. So, going back to Genesis, when God told him, don't eat of this or you will surely die.
Right.
So, if they don't eat of that, would we be right to understand that they were headed into eternal life?
Well,
they were headed into eternal life. We can look at the punishments and understand that, well, had they not done this, they wouldn't die. There would be no pain in childbirth. Adam wouldn't have had to work.
I don't know all that. All that's jumping to me. You jump into a lot.
How is that? Hold on. How is that jumping when we understand that all those came into being because of what happened?
Well, you just understanding that, but it's not really saying that. You're, like you said, you're understanding. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but we gotta understand that we're using reason and deduction. And when we're using reason and deduction, because we are imperfect beings, Okay, we just need to understand that we're using our reasoning and deduction, which is what we're supposed to do. But because we are imperfect beings, we just need to realize that it might not be exactly what we thinking. That's all I'm saying. It's just a little humility there, just a little bit, because it's the words can say the same thing, but we're using our deduction and reasoning to believe that it means this or that, and it's a good chance a lot of it's true, but maybe a little bit of what you thought it was maybe just a little off. You see what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. We're doing this stuff is because people, that's why the same people read the same words and they be arguing over the same words sitting right there, the same exact words. But they argue over them because your reasoning and deduction is just a little bit different from this person's reasoning and deduction of the same exact words. And then here you go, I'm not saying you directly, but I'm just saying just in general, people want to argue over the little part that they disagree on. So it's just like, and then sometimes it's like you just be like, well, you know what? Hey, it makes sense that you see that. I can see why you see that. I don't see that because of this reason, that reason. And God's gonna just, He's gonna settle it out with us. That's it,
Oh yeah, he tells us that the word is not subject to private interpretation, and I believe he says that because when people read it, it can say something different between, you can read it and see one thing, I can read it and see another, and that doesn't necessarily, in some cases, mean that either person is wrong. It's just that the message he delivers to one may not reach the other in the same way. It may be something different.
Yeah,
Like how you notice that it says voice, and it
right.
does say voice, but to me that does not say to me that voice is not God. It may to someone else, but it does not say that to me.
Okay. Yeah, and like I said, and that's what I mean when I say I can see why it makes sense that it would be God, but it does not say God. And I know that in the Bible, like God, they heard the footsteps of God. When God is coming, it tell you this is the voice of
And
God. So
and,
I'm
and it
just
could be like you said. It could be like you said, though, that it's something that's lost in translation, because it is going from Greek to English, and
and like I said, that's what I like when I say stuff, I try to put it all there, like because I'm questioning myself too, just to try to be as accurate as I know how to be, and then I'm at the end of what I believe is I try to stay humble because I'm listening. If something better and something smarter, and I'm like, okay, I can see that one, because my thing is I know, God put these words here for us to read and understand. Uh,
Mhm.
and the thing is, though, one thing we forget is God allows the devil he allows the devil to meddle. We pretend like the devil can't trick us. He's out there doing stuff, and God has allowed it. So, what we thinking, why God gonna do that? He wouldn't let him trick me. And then here we go find, that's why people faith be all messed up because they find something maybe they misunderstood. They be all shaken. I'm like, why? It's a trial. This is something for us to learn here, obviously. And just because we don't know exactly why or what, we know God, we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't God for creating us. So obviously, He loves us. He wants us to learn something. He's like the zebra be thinking like God don't love me. He put lions here. And the lions is like, damn, God don't love me. He got these zebras with these hard, strong hoofs and they run too fast. So it's like this is nature. This is the nature of the universe too. That that we're living it. We're literally living in this thing. So we gotta, to me, I don't think it's no way to convince me that something that I know God created, which is a certain parts of reality, okay, then some words that are like ink here on the pieces of paper or little keys on computer screens, which could be changed and reinterpreted and all this type of thing. To me, the standard of some logic has to happen in the manner of the universal. Like if I tell, you're going to judge me by the logic of the universe, basically. If I lie to you and say something crazy, oh, Leroy, hey man, your house burned up, huh? Yeah, it was messed up, man. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I was just,
we go we gonna get the crazy when you play them Buzz Aldrin clips.
Yeah, but yeah, it gets crazy. But let's get off of that. I think we a good one to start with. Let's try to go through this because I know I was trying to go quick, but you know how we do. So, dang, we went on that, and I thought that was gonna be. So we gotta try to. I'm gonna put a timer. So this is what we're gonna do.
Like we playing speed chess.
Let's do this usury thing. So you just
okay.
Your thoughts on it. You have to go through the first part you said early. I'm gonna speed these things up too. So
okay.
Usury. All right, hold on. Let's see if I can do this real quick.
So now I'm going to offend a lot of people. I have a friend. His name is Mark. He's Jewish. He's a successful Jewish banker who lives in New York.
All right,
too fast.
Hold on a second. We'll slow this part down. I'll play it back. We'll play it back a little.
Wow.
Fair use. This is fair use. Matt Kim.
Now I'm going to bring up something that's going to offend a lot of people. I have a friend. His name is Mari. Mari is Jewish. He's a successful Jewish banker. He lives in New York. And I've known Mari for over a decade. We've done business together. Good guy, respectable guy. He revealed to me, and I did the diligence on it. And this was one of the most shocking things that I ever realized in the world of business. And I have had moments in which I have actually considered bringing on a Semite into my team so I can take advantage of this financial opportunity. The opportunity is this. If you are a Semite, you can get zero interest loans at banks. They will go to the back.
Hold on. You moving around is kind of messing up the sound. So hold on a second. Let me replay that.
All right, hold on. Let me throw it on mute.
So now I'm going to bring up something that's going to offend a lot of people. I have a friend. His name is Mari. Mari is Jewish. He's a successful Jewish banker. He lives in New York. And I've known Mari for over a decade. We've done business together. Good guy, respectable guy. He revealed to me, and I did the diligence on it. And this was one of the most shocking things that I ever realized in the world of business. And I have had moments in which I have actually considered bringing on a Semite into my team so I can take advantage of this financial opportunity. The financial opportunity is this. If you are a Semite, you can get zero interest loans at banks anywhere in America. You just have to tell them. They will go to the back. They will show you, they will bring out a folder, a PDF of how you, as a Semite, can get a loan for your house, a car, extraneous things that you need, a boat, a business for zero interest. Really? Look it up. I was Mari. When Mari told me this. Let's go again.
All right, so he said that. Now, what's your reaction to that point? Hello? I don't hear you if you're talking. You're still on mute.
Let him continue a little bit further.
Okay. Well, just the 0% interest, the 0% interest loans. Just what's your reaction? Okay, because I'm gonna speed it up if they retain you early because they talk a bunch of silly stuff from the beginning to me. But
Well,
hold on.
um, it's it's something everyone should have access to. It's not for a particular group to keep to themselves, and that's what's happening. And then they have the gall to label themselves as a Semite. Unbelievable, these people.
Okay. Well, like I said before, this one is not too big of a big deal to me because I think that this one is not a problem to me. This is something. This is one of the few things that they do that I would want to reproduce. Uh,
As,
this is
and
one.
that and that's why I told you. That's why I was saying let it play, because the discussion we had earlier. This is about where I had stopped when I called you. To share the video.
Uh,
So I went back to listening to it, and he ended up saying the things that you're saying right now. That that they're doing it. Why aren't we doing it in our community? And the guest, not Matt Kim, but his guest says that, well, Maury told me that, y'all weren't raised like this. I'm better than you. And I mean, yeah, he said that he he appreciates that Maury owns his, for lack of a better term, Jewishness, and is very candid in sharing that, hey, tough for you. I'm chosen. You not. You know what I'm saying? It sucks for you. But you and I know that's a lie.
well, they chosen for something, so I don't know, but they're not chosen for
Yeah.
what. They're not chosen for what they're saying they're chosen for. They don't want, so. And I put stuff like this out just real quick, just so people can know, like we're using this is part of their stuff that they come up with. They create certain myths. Encyclopedia Judica, as stated by Rabbi Rashi between 1010 and 1030. So these are their records of words that they create, starting with egros. So this is one of we be calling ourselves stuff and using stuff that there's a lot of stuff that we should be aware of. Uh, there's a lot of history that I think this is somewhere in the Bible that says when people are babies in knowledge, you cannot give them the meat.
Oh yeah, yeah. You gotta bring people along slowly because they might not be where you are.
Right. And that's in any
You know what I'm
discipline.
saying?
That's in any discipline. It's not just because they could be a scientist over here, but they don't know something about this or that. So you gotta give.
They may have just started. I mean, it's the difference between a rookie and a veteran. You know,
What I'm saying is you gotta
'Cause
give baby milk.
yeah. You can't start a rookie. You can't get a what is when you start out as an electrician, what is it called? A
Well, you start
journeyman.
apprentice.
Yeah, well, you can't throw at an apprentice what a master electrician can do.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So I like that.
Yeah. So like I said, so when we're explaining certain things, people can't. So even when we're listening to other conversations, we sometimes we'll be listening at levels that we don't have the basis to. And also, I think that's interesting that the Asians are looking at what the Jewish folks are doing financially and saying, why can't we do that for our community? So that's telling you,
Yes.
there's a lot of black folks. We're always talking about other people and, how they're doing better than us, which a lot of things they are doing better than us. but everybody does the same thing. You know, you look at something and you say, hey, you know, this is a good practice. We can pick this, and then we also critique each other. We can say, hey, that's a bad practice. We don't want to keep that. You know, so but
you heard him say that he wasn't happy. He was pissed off about that, and rightfully so. I mean, when I heard him, I'm like, just so. We'll just go with that.
Well, he's mad because he's mad at his own community. He's mad that they haven't set.
You think so?
I guarantee you. That's
what I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't think he's mad at. I think he's more mad that that is available to a particular group and not to everyone. Yeah, he wants his own community to do it. We want our own community to do it. Regardless of that, no one should have a certain segment shouldn't have access to that, and no one else does. That's the problem.
Nah.
Not that it exists or doesn't exist. It can exist, but everyone should have access. And if everyone doesn't have access, then what you started out with applies here. They're playing by a different set of rules.
Right. Well, that's the point. That's how you win. You make your own rules. That's what it's supposed to be. You know, and see, this is why I was telling people this on. Let me see if I can find this stupid group. This one. This big fucking group. This group is so this is
Mark Davis not over there, is he? I said Mark Davis not over there, is he?
There's a Mark Davis on here, but he's way cooler, and you can't you'll know immediately that's not the same guy. He's definitely way cooler. But, yeah, there's a Mark Davis on here. This group has 56,000 members, so it's a lot of people in this group. And
whoa,
yeah, but they you know,
yeah, it's huge.
It's a lot of stuff in this group. But the thing is, yeah, let's see, what did I put in this group? He'd be up here tripping. Yeah, people get in this group and they be arguing, having stuff, talking. But let me see. He must be off of work. This man is just posting. This is the one he be posting crazy all the time. Lil Khalif. All right. Damn, he posting like crazy today. This girl too. I'm trying to find. Anyway, I put up something about racism. And, it was a little trigger, just to trigger people, see what they would say. I said, people in NYC allowed that woman to burn alive on that train. How scared are they? And I said, I'll bet she's black. And two people said something.
Wow. They jumped on you.
Not really. This is that type of group. They'll hold on. Trying to find another one. Yeah, I was trying to get some New Yorkers to say something because this is the group. This group, they'll be arguing about Native Americans, Indians, Aboriginals, stuff like that. All right, so this is the one I put up here. Now, this got a decent amount of comments. A2. All right, so I said, if racists have power, what is wrong with black people learning to be racist in favor of our own? And the reason why I say that is because that's what racism is, what this man is describing. That's what it is. The Jews, or he calls it Semites to be nice because he's being nice to them. Marty is still his friend. So listen, he's not mad. That's why I say he's not mad that they get that.
Oh, no. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Listen to me first. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Let me finish it out. Let me finish it out. I'm
Go
saying
for it.
he is not mad that they can do that. I can prove that he's not mad that they can do that. Why? Because he said that he was considering hiring one of them so that he can do it. So he wants.
Yeah, that's just using them. That
But
yeah,
listen.
he wants access to it, but don't think.
Okay, so
Hold on, Mike. He got to hire a whole new person. Go ahead.
So listen.
Go ahead.
If I want to do something, I don't want to eliminate its existence. Okay, so he wasn't getting on there saying that these people, this is un-American. This is this should be illegal. This should not be true. I need to come up with some discrimination lawsuits. He's not trying to end that. He's admiring them in the talk of that. So that's why I was saying to you, like, if if he shows anger, he's angry at his own community that they have not set up that system yet. That's what that man was mad about. So let me go back to it. And like I said, if anybody's looks like
Not what I got.
let's look at it. Hold on. Let's look at it a second. Let's see. Let's look at some more.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah, take the moment now and press the like button. And so, we want to kind of put all of this together. I'm always looking long term. And so if I would take conjure up scenario, if you and I, because we've been doing this for 2 years.
Yes, and I don't see any path of us stopping this.
That's where I'm going. If you and I do this for 10 years, I'm just going to be intellectually honest. We will be a big thing.
Yes.
Like 8 more years. 2 years went by like that.
Yes.
Right? If we
can't believe we're already 2 years in.
I know. If we do 8 more years of this, we will most likely be the only 2 Asians who have done this type of podcast. And we're going to inspect, we're going to adapt, we're going to iterate, we're going to improve, we're going to try new. Like we're going to, between now and 8 years from now, will be something completely different from what you see today. And so that excites me because I'm you know me, I'm a disciplined guy. I will do this for the next 8 years. If you're like, Peter, sign the blood, the next 8 years, we're going to just keep hustling this, keep doing this. What do you say? I'd say, prick my finger, let's roll. 8 years, I'm down. We already got 2 years in.
And I am not a contract guy. I am more of word is bond type of guy. I'm a very traditional type of person. I think contracts are full of shit. I think that's
because he comes from a high trust society.
I think favors are more valuable than monetary compensation. I'm in that world, so that if I do you a favor, you do me a favor, I owe you a favor back, regardless of what that value of that favor is.
Fair enough.
I trade in favors. And I think most people that are trying to get to certain places in society, this is how actually they operate. Monetary value is not the most important. So
yeah, and monetary gain is always short term. It's like, oh, I can get paid more here. It's like, well, but then you ruin the relationship,
Because one of the topics I wanted to talk about today, and it was actually in a comment that got me thinking about it. And I've been thinking about it for the last maybe a couple of months. But someone said, you need to talk about this in the comments. And I was like, we actually did.
Oh, okay.
The idea of usury.
Usury, yes. I know things about usury
Yes.
that I'll end up sharing here, but it's going to be really disappointing for all of you, let's just say Gentiles out there.
Well, the concept of usury, if people aren't familiar with the term, is the idea of loaning with interest.
Yes.
And the reality is that biblically, it says don't loan with interest.
Yeah.
It's something that early Christians did not do.
Yeah.
Actually, it was banned and outlawed to loan money with interest.
Yes.
And the Jews in their...
You hear when he said it? He's like,
Yeah.
He was like, when he said the Jews, the other guy was like, whoa. You said it. You said
I'm telling you, man. I don't get that he mad at his own people for not doing it, and he shouldn't be. He's willing to hire somebody else to take advantage of it, but that's not what he wants to do. He wants to be able to take advantage of it. Period.
So let's look at this right here. I just want to show you this part again. I know things about usury that will be very disappointing to you.
Mm-hmm.
See any anger in that?
Actually, they operate. monetary value is not the most important.
Hold on.
So
Yeah, and monetary gain is always short term. It's like, oh, I can get paid more here. It's like, well, but then you ruin the relationship, you know?
because one of the topics I wanted to talk about today, and it was actually in a comment that got me thinking about it, and I've been thinking about it for the last maybe a couple of months. But
Hold on a second. All right, you ready?
Usury.
Now
Yes.
listen.
I know things about usury.
Yes.
That I
Look at his face.
probably I'll end up sharing here, but it's going to be really disappointing for all of you. Let's just say Gentiles out there.
Well, the concept of usury.
That wasn't anger. I'm sorry. That was not anger.
And let him roll. I'm telling you, he may be smiling, but the words he's using are very selected.
All right, we're about to get. I got to go quick on this. So this right here, I'm just trying to get through it real quick just to see.
If people aren't familiar with the term, it is the idea of loaning with interest.
Yes.
And the reality is that biblically, it says don't loan with interest.
Yeah.
It's something that early Christians did not do. Actually, it was banned and outlawed to loan money with interest.
Yes.
And the Jews, in their Talmud, they say that you cannot lend money to other Jews with interest. Yeah. You can only lend it to Gentiles.
Yes.
Okay, so he said that these guys, these Jews, they said you cannot do this to other Jews. You can only do this to Gentiles. Right?
Reverse. You can only do this. Yeah, you can only do this to, only Jews can partake in this. Nobody else.
Listen. Let me slow it down and replay what he just said. I'm saying that he said the usury thing. All right, I'm gonna play it normal.
Loan money with interest.
Yes.
And the Jews, in their to other Jews with interest.
Hold on. Damn, we missed that part. I was laughing.
Even in early Roman days, you couldn't do it.
Up sharing here, but it's
You could only lend it to Gentiles.
yes, or the goyim.
Or the
Okay, so you hear that?
and the Jews.
Yeah. That's what I was telling you earlier.
All right, so listen to this part right here. Real careful. Listen to exactly what he says right here.
The Talmud.
They say that you cannot lend money to other Jews with interest.
Yeah.
You can only lend it to Gentiles.
Yes, or the goyim.
Or the goyim.
You see that? You heard that part, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying this is their book that it's called the Talmud. It's a bunch of books actually. Also, this is where they named us. The stuff that people are calling us now, what starts with an N, Negro. They came up with this curse of Ham. This is the same book that that they're talking about, where this stuff is here. All right, so this thing that we think is normal called interest today, it's not. It's not the way. It's actually we're just used to it. But their book tells them they cannot charge that to each other. You know what I'm saying? So that's their religious law. So that's the reason why they're going to respect their religious law. So all the person has to do is go in there and say, "Hey, this is what it is. This is me. I'm practicing. I'm a Semite or whatever what they say, and against our law, because if that banker violates the religious law, you know how much trouble he would be and his family will be in.
Oh, he's fired.
No, it's not.
And that
Look, even it's not about
yeah, it could be worse.
Yeah, that's what they're worried about. Worse, they don't want to be blacklisted in their religious community. Their family would have to disown them. Dude, give that man alone. They're not worried.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the guy that doesn't have the hat on, he says what the word is that you have to say when you go in there to pull out, get access to this loan.
Right.
But you already know if someone says it incorrectly, or even if you say it correctly, and I use this example. Sammy Davis Jr., we're told, is a black Jew, right? You think he could have walked in there and said the particular word? I can't say it, but he does. Do you think if Sammy Davis Jr. goes into a bank and says the particular word the correct way, that they're not going to make some phone calls first?
Well, the thing is this. Somebody like Sammy Davis Jr., maybe. I don't know. But I know one thing about Sammy Davis Jr., but I'm not going to bring that as a side issue. But like Whoopi Goldberg, okay, she, same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they would let them get away with some stuff. I don't know because I don't know. But
sold out. You can say it.
Well, I don't know because they believe whatever they believe stuff. They're all into it. So yeah, sold out too. Definitely.
So Whoopi Goldberg is a practicing Jew.
Well, yes, she is a Jew in reality. She's more Jewish than them. If you talking about it by bloodline, but she's thinking they are the standard. We call it the S of S, the sin of S. That's a different church.
Wow.
She's up in there. So that's what that is. That's not, they say they are something, but they are not. They really are this. Okay, so we're not pretending. And they got that thing with AI on it. So I don't want to, I'd rather this show continue to go, but I think it's in John, right? But the point is, see, here we are,
Revelations.
Yeah, but the point is, I think this is a big subject. I don't want to go. I want to get to a couple other pieces. So we hit this one up, and you know how we do. So we spent let me see how long we spent on this one. We spent a minute on this.
Hey, everybody, you get a chance, go to Matt Kim and check out that video because it's worth the watch.
Yeah, you can check it out just to see what they're doing and see, how they move and shake. Because this is how these folks make their moves. But the thing is, everybody is seeing them. Everybody's watching them now. People are criticizing, and that deception that they had is rubbing off. They feel it. A lot of them are trying to break ranks. They'll just become regular white folks. That's one thing they can do. They'll just become regular white
Oh yeah.
people. Which that's what they really are, But they got this history. So I'll say it like this: that group, they definitely do have some lineage that goes back a nice amount of ways, but it doesn't go back, of course, to where they're saying it is, because they speak a whole different language, which isn't Hebrew. It's called Yiddish. And that's Russian stuff. So, and they know it. So it's not a secret. So I don't know what everybody knows that they speak. They learn Hebrew, which is the biblical and the religious.
Yeah, I don't even believe they learned that. I've heard reports that say the Hebrew they speak is not actually Hebrew. It's what they've concocted.
Well, that's fine. But the thing is, we don't know it. So, we speak in English. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem too. That's the reason why you know, we gotta get a little bit more thorough on our studying because you know, it's the same group. Like I said, anytime I can show you a record, a document, it's, you know, in their books and their records from from 1010 years ago. Okay. You know what I'm saying? They've been shaping a lot of stuff. Okay. So we want to keep, you know, pretending like these people know. Yeah, if you want to really challenge, you can't really, you know, we got to study. We got to get into some of this stuff, you know. That's the reason why I'm careful with some of that stuff, because it's a lot of traps that they set. They put stuff in key spots, you know. Even on the cartoons, we know that, you know, like with Disney and all that stuff, you know, they're inserting things in the cartoons and all that stuff. So in the TV shows, certain little ideas and little scenes that you didn't think was nothing, and then somebody show you the same picture, the Lion King or whatever, years later, and say, "Hey, highlight this part." Highlight, oh, what is a butt? What the hell is that? The balls? Damn, they got, what the hell is going on in the Lion King promo? You'd be like, really? Yep, it was there. It's subliminal. Like, man, what's Harvey Weinstein's little operation? Pixar. Anyway.
Miramax.
No, whatever it is, it don't matter. All right, so let's look at this one here. This one, because Billy Carson had a debate with Wes Moore, and everybody was jumping on Billy Carson because he said some stuff about the gospel, and people, you know, he's not a scholar, and they kind of just kind of jumped on Billy Carson basically. So he got mad and he responded. He didn't like the way he responded, so he took his video down, which they clowned him more for it. So he went and got this guy, Paul Wallace. So from my perspective, just in the whole situation of the debate and everything, the guy Wes Moore, which I guess I should show him. Let me see. The guy Wes Moore, they just said they made a deal with each other, and whoever the other guy that was supposed to be friends with. Hey, I'm friends with Billy Carson. Oh man, you know Billy Carson? Yeah, why don't you set up a debate with us? They set that up, and Billy didn't know. I don't think he knew that he was going into no SoCal debate like that. And I really don't think, because he wasn't ready for nothing like that. You know, he don't study. So let's see. Billy Carson, Wes Moore, Billy. Oh, was it Wes Moore or was Wes Huff? Wes Huff.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Wes Huff. I keep saying Wes Moore, but that's somebody else. All right, so this is the debate.
We don't believe that God has it.
So that's Wes Huff. That's the guy who set up the debate thing. And then Billy Carson's there. All right, so, all right. Billy Carson looked crazy on this debate. He lost it really bad. Everybody jumped on him. So, but to me and you went over this just a little bit. And the part where I think we went over, what was the part that we was like, I forgot what it was. Anyway, we went over it. I think it was a part where we was like, did God a man? I think it was like that. Is God a man? That part. So, you know.
I think it was more so about, did Jesus have a wife? Because he didn't go into that area.
I'm talking about the part that me and you went over. I think it was like the man. But anyway. Yeah, this is it may have been the resurrection, because he clear.
Billy Carson. Let me make sure I say his name. Billy Carson states that the resurrection never happened.
Yeah, he
Those
said
are
it didn't.
his words.
He didn't say it never happened. He said in that particular text, it's not documented on that. Whatever text that he was reading from, that's what he said. He said he doesn't believe it. He didn't say it didn't happen. He just said he doesn't believe it. He doesn't believe it. But so the thing is, this was a big debate. Everybody went into that. So here he goes. He got this guy. Now, one of the key things that I think was the gospel of Mary, or the wife of Jesus, right? Billy Carson didn't have the knowledge, and so he just, Wes Huff said it was a forgery, and Billy said, "Okay, I'll go with that." I think we can see that here. Let's see.
For those that believe he does, to actually have that like next level of what that's supposed to mean. But Wes, go ahead for what Billy was talking about. I think with a book in the Harvard Museum, and I heard something about.
Yeah, this is it right here.
Yeah, well, first let me say, I think it's really cool to not just be in the room proverbially with you, Billy, but be able to interact with you. Because I wish I could be there in person. Unfortunately, Toronto, Canada is a long way away from Florida. It's a little bit of a jaunt. But I really appreciate the fact that you seem to have investigated to a certain degree some of these facts. Do you mind if I ask a clarifying question?
Sure.
When you say the Sinai Bible, what are you referring to specifically?
It's the biblical text that was written and made it into you can actually look it up on Amazon. It's a Bible I have a version at home. It's called the Sinai Bible, right, from Mount Sinai. Right? I'm assuming it's the mountain that they're referencing there. But they put together their own version of the biblical text prior to the King James Version being put out. Sure.
So when you refer to the Sinai Bible, would you be referring to Codex Sinaiticus? Like the codex that comes? Okay. That's why I was trying to get some clarification, because so you can actually go and see Codex Sinaiticus is at the British Library.
All right, so to me, for him to do that to get clarification, that means Billy could have been right about a Sinai Bible, but Wes Huff was not going to tell him. You know what I'm saying? So,
Oh no, no, he definitely wasn't going to do that.
So this is Codex Sinaiticus.
Yeah, that's what you get when I just typed in the Sinai Bible, and yeah, that's what popped up. Codex Sinaiticus.
But also Sinai Bible, the Dead Sea Scrolls Bible, the oldest Bible translated from the first time into English by Martin A.G. So that's on Amazon. That's what Billy was talking about, really. So he wasn't like Wes Huff said Codex Sinaiticus. This is what Billy actually said. So look at that. I just want to see. And that's why you can tell by the way, I don't know. So that is something too. So I don't know what it is, but that's something there too. But yeah, so the Sinai Bible and Codex Sinaiticus, that's a little bit different. What are the major differences? There are differences there. And that's why I think Wes Huff wanted Billy to go to the Codex Sinaiticus so he can prove him wrong. But, that's a gotcha moment. So from there, we went to here. We went through some other stuff. A lot of people made videos, but I think Billy came back with this one, but he didn't come back directly hard. He just came back in a more educational thing. If you looked at this guy does not directly challenge. He kind of challenges the stuff that they talked about with Wes Huff way towards the end. In the beginning, he just kind of goes over his credentials. This guy he has some kind of YouTube channel too, and I guess he got a lot of followers on there. he teaches other, I guess, he used to teach pastors and stuff. I guess that's what they say.
Anarchy, what are they? You might ask. Can be angels, can be landlords. It has this great elasticity to it.
So this is why a lot of people don't like Billy Carson, is because he goes into a lot of these old ancient things, these old stuff that people like, Anunnaki, Sumerian tablets, Epic of Gilgamesh, and Atrahasis, and the Book of the Dead in Egypt, and just a lot of stuff. That's why he goes off into a lot of different things, and people don't like it because he makes the claim that in some of these old texts, in these ancient little societies and stuff that they find in these archaeology sites, he's saying that the Bible that we have today has connections to those things. That's why, a lot of folks hate Billy Carson. Because that's a whole different, concept than what folks, have. So anyway, this guy here, y'all can look him up. But yeah, he went into this. I think it was part in here. This is the part that I want you to hear. I think it was right here. Oh, this is cool. Oh, I like Billy. He's got each one of his little sections named. When you scrolling, he literally has, like, you're scrolling, it tells you, okay, episode 1, Billy's encounter with the Bible, journey to Christianity, pastoral perspective, your work. Dude, see, this is man, I don't see how y'all can be too mad at Billy Carson. This is so organized. He literally has the name. Like when I'm scrolling like this, it tells you what part you're looking for. Dude, that's serious. Okay. So this is the part the gospel of Jesus' wife. So this is where this guy goes into it.
It's actually warped it a little bit, but as I dug into the story about this text of this gospel of Jesus.
All right, hold on a second. Let's go a little before that.
I think that's given as a template for all our lives. Mm-hmm. And that was sort of the general worldview at that time. That was how Plato understood who we really are at a deeper level. And many of the first Christians went to these texts from Plato. That was their worldview, and they recognized it when they read the Gospel of John. And so they were far more inclined, I believe, to see Jesus as this model of what is possible for us, as this picture of human development and ascension. And it's only...
Doesn't he sound believable? He has an accent. He must know what he's talking about, right? The man has an accent. What more could you ask for? Leroy, you still up? You sleep. Leroy done went to sleep on me. We're about to shut it down, but we might have to recontinue this one because I'll play this section and I'll give my reaction on it. And then we're gonna kind of discontinue it because it is a little late on this one. But hold on a second here.
Later religion that has put Jesus up here and us all the way down here, and all we can do is pay, pray, and obey. That is, I think, a real distortion of the empowering message that I think all the gospel writers, including the canonical writers, intended for their readers.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you say, I see Jesus as an archetype for us to model ourselves after, That's interesting. I've been in podcasts before where I mentioned, they bring it up. People ask me, what about Jesus? And what do you think about Jesus? And after I give them my opinion of Jesus as an incredible archetype for mankind to follow, And in a couple of podcasts, I mentioned that, they discovered the gospel of Jesus' wife, and a young professor at the University of Harvard, brought it to their attention and it's in the Harvard Seminary. I never said that Jesus was married as a hard statement, but I did say that it could have been that maybe he got married, maybe he had kids, maybe the Merovingian bloodline is still on this planet till this very day. People kind of took that out of context and warped it a little bit, but
okay, I don't like that they show white Jesus there, but let's keep it going.
But as I dug into the story about this text of this gospel of Jesus' wife, it was just pretty interesting to see that there was a lot of pushback.
More white Jesus. Okay. All right.
On that, and it was for years.
Yes.
A lot of years.
I don't fully understand why there is so much pushback on that question. But Ehrman, who's a biblical scholar, said just the other day, what does it matter?
Yeah.
If Jesus, but it does seem to matter to people. And I think that's really illustrated by the pushback that it was Karen King, wasn't it?
Karen King, correct.
Who did the study on the gospel of Jesus' wife and published on it. So she's a Harvard Divinity School professor, so she knows her stuff. And it didn't go much for that document, which appears to have been a Coptic translation of a Greek text from the 200s, although the papyrus, I think, dates from a little later, doesn't go much further than you can find in the Gospel of Philip, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. I think Pistis Sophia is the other one, where it's very clear that in those documents, bearing in mind, my question is not what really happened. My question is, what did the early Christians believe? There were clearly early Christians who believed that Jesus and Mary Magdalene had a very close relationship. The Gospel of Philip said he used to kiss her frequently on the mouth. All those documents said there was a bit of conflict between Mary Magdalene and Peter, because Peter reckoned he was the senior disciple, and yet Mary Magdalene was getting teachings from Jesus that they weren't getting.
Yeah.
And she was a teaching figure as well. So they all sort of corroborate each other on those points, or maybe they borrow from each other. But then the gospel of Jesus' wife goes that one step forward and uses the word wife. Jesus refers to a woman as his wife, and she will be able to be my disciple. What is the problem with that? Now, clearly there is a problem. It clearly upsets people.
So this is the thing. This is my thing on this. People are not concerned about what's truth. Leroy, you still sleep? He's still asleep. But people aren't concerned about what's the truth. They're concerned about what they were raised under. So the thing that you were raised under. So that's the reason why I go to the King James Bible, not because it's the best Bible or what have you. It's just, this is what our people have been raised under in America. It's the Protestant Bible. I look at other Bibles too. And the reason why I look at Bibles is because you cannot really effectively deal with this system, because this is the programming of these systems. This is the spiritual programming because this thing is spiritual, has a spiritual tinge to it. If you want to, handle what's out here in this system, in this world, this is the foundation. And so you do need to understand these things, but at the same time, people have to be strong enough to challenge. You're not going to, this is something that God wants. The Creator wants you to challenge your understanding, develop it, go study, do the studies yourself. Find out. Don't rely on just, you can get inspiration in hearing people and then you do your own research on stuff. But, you know, gone are the days when people are supposed to just sit and not check behind, go behind, and also use your common sense and your mental logic. Don't be arrogant in your conclusion, though. Just understand, okay, this is what it says to me, and this is the best that I can understand right now. Until if more information and more clarity comes to you, then do it. But, you know, that's one of the reasons why I like some of these controversies, because if it's handled properly, it gives people the opportunity to actually learn something that they never would have tried to study. One of the things about human competition is we do like to compete. We like to win. So if the competition is studying, is understanding something, is trying to learn, then a lot of times you will get people to go studying. Just like when Billy lost that debate because he didn't know. But what happened here in this particular situation, he was sick. He lost the debate, but he was made aware of new information because somebody challenged him, and it challenged him in that moment. He didn't have the resources to defend that challenge. But what he didn't do is just continue to hate and get angry and continue down in the same rabbit hole. He went and found someone who had the knowledge that he could. And really, he did some research on his own, and then he found an expert and who can give him the truth that he was looking for, that could challenge his and support his point of view, and actually give him the information, because I don't think he even knew about this woman or this gospel or the details of this gospel of Jesus's wife, which is still a controversy. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, we're going to end it off on here. We're at the 2-hour mark, guys. Thanks for showing up, Leroy. Leroy is asleep. You can play it back. We're going to do a part 2. I work during the week, so part 2 may come next week. So, and we'll try to go over some more of these type of controversial subjects. We'll try to hit as many of them, as we can, but we do a lot of talking. So we're going to try to compress the talking into a minimum of reaction and just get some of these topics out the way to try to speed things up. All right, y'all. Peace out. Thanks for coming up. Press the thumbs up button, like, share, and leave your comments. We did mostly on religion on this one. We did a little bit on the classism with the loans and stuff, and also race. My thing is a lot of the stuff that we're calling racism, like just because we can't get access to it, that's what we're supposed to be doing among ourselves, among our own groups, so that we can practice our form of racism. If that's what it takes to hold your power, we got to stop calling it racism too. Some of it you can call racism and bigotry, but some of this stuff here is just that these people are more organized and they're keeping their best benefits among themselves so that they can continue to dominate every generation. And that's what we should be doing. We should be making sure our young people in our family are getting out to the jobs and getting out to the places where they can go work, even if it means traveling out of state, what have you, just so we can start bringing money into our families and also start bringing that spiritual love into our families so that we can start, actually making some real moves. There's a lot of stuff that we can do if we would just soften our hearts up and actually start getting things done. There's people that we know that we can help, that we see, get those children, get them to those opportunities that they probably wouldn't do on their own. Stop letting everybody learn the hard way. Try to, go ahead and get out there and try to make it happen. Try to do something better. Strategically bring money into your families. Okay. So anyway, Peace out. Love you.